Hey everyone, Nubkeks here. Welcome to our look at the patch notes on the PTR right now, January 17th, in Heroes of the Storm, the Valeera PTR patch. At initial glances, I thought this is a huge patch. I don't know how I missed it though, but there are a couple of big reworks. We've got a Tassadar rework, which is no surprise really. But then what kind of took me a bit aback, and we'll dive into it a bit in this video, is the Rexxar rework that we're actually going to see coming up. We're going to dive into this anyway. Unfortunately, the PTR, as you can see, is not up and playable yet. I imagine that will be up in the next half hour or so. As soon as it is up, I will jump on and start recording videos, so stay tuned on the channel for those. They'll be up as soon as I can get them done. Without any further ado though, let's work through this and take that kind of initial look and first impressions, basically, all the stuff that's coming out. It's kind of exciting, and I'm a bit surprised by some of it, so we'll see. Anyway, first up there's going to be the Lunar Festival is going to be coming to the game once this patch launches. The patch will be on the live servers on January 24th. That could change for different regions, I'm not sure, but around then, your normal patch time next week is when it's going to be out. This event will start then and will run until Tuesday, February 14th, Valentine's Day. But it's pretty cool. I know a lot of people are super hyped about the giant cock mount that's coming out. So they want to ride to battle on a giant cock. I'm not kidding. Well, it's a rooster. But yeah, that will be actually rewarded, not from having to pay or buy it in a bundle or anything like that. You can get this giant chicken. It actually looks awesome. Gotta love a big cock. But all you have to do is complete this rooster race thing, which is presumably some sort of, much like all the other events at the start of the game, it will be during that preparation period as you spawn into the game. You can, run around until the gates open. There's going to be some sort of race, a rooster race. Do it one time, you get 200 gold. That's fine. Probably that might be a repeating daily thing. I don't know. I assume. I think it probably is. And then there will be the long-term quest, which is if you do it 25 times during the Lunar Festival, you will get the portrait, whatever. More importantly, you'll get a free mount. So that's really awesome, and it's a very cool mount. So that's something to be quite excited about. Another thing that people are probably going to be very excited about as well is basically an updated try mode. Or what they're calling it's a sandbox custom game where you can have up to 10 players at once jumping in onto Cursed Hollow, and you basically have player one, the lobby host, will have access to the cheat menu, and they can share cheats with other players. But this includes all the stuff like the changing the game speed, turning minions on and off, all the try mode stuff that's there. Turn tributes on or off, reset the structures. You can move someone to the camera's location, reset your talents, reset the cooldowns, set team levels, toggle infinite mana, and then you can make the teams do bonus damage and increase damage taken, all that sort of stuff, which is pretty cool. I suppose, it's not only for testing out heroes and things like that, but also probably for a bit of fun. This is one of the minor issues that's still there with try mode, of course, is that there is no auto-complete quest functionality. I imagine that's very difficult to code. Probably would have had to be done for every single individual quest. But still, this is a pretty cool thing that I wasn't actually expecting, but it is there. And who knows, it's a sandbox, so who knows what ways people will think up of being able to do this. I mean, the thing that stands out to me is jumping in with one or two other people and just testing out videos, doing them quickly, things like that, doing videos maybe on showing particular combos with talents or builds, whatever. I don't know, something worth thinking about. Also, this is kind of nice. There is performance. I don't know how big these are, but there are performance improvements worked into this patch, which is going to affect hero abilities and environment effects. So this should particularly affect team fights. This was something I don't have the best PC, and definitely something I noticed is there's obviously a hitch once hero abilities start going off. So if they've made that smoother, I'll be very happy. I know, in particular, Abathur's is it Evolved Monstrosity? The one where he clones a hero. I forget what it's called. Ultimate Evolution. That one is particularly bad, so I'm interested to see how that works. Now, into some of the juicier stuff, and the first thing we've got is the new hero, Valeera. If we scroll up, this is a picture of her here. Obviously, she comes from, I think she was originally in some Warcraft comics, and then World of Warcraft is a very minor character associated with Varian, I believe, actually. And then she is obviously the rogue hero, the default rogue hero, I think, in Hearthstone. There might be other heroes. I haven't played Hearthstone in a long time. Yeah, she was one of Varian's personal bodyguards. But she has some pretty cool stuff going on that I don't think you'll have picked up if you just watched the in development video. So, first of all, her trait, Vanish. She vanishes from sight. She goes into stealth, gets 10% move speed, and she's unrevealable for the first second. So quite like Samoro's Windwalk, really. But the cool thing is she's going to get an alternate set of abilities while she is in stealth, which is pretty crazy. I don't know if you'll have time to activate. I suspect you don't. That's something we have to test out, is how do you only have time to activate one ability from stealth before you drop out? Do you have time to activate more? And will there be talents that let her stay stealthed for longer? But anyway, while you're outside of stealth, she's going to have, I'm not sure if she has mana or energy or what, but she does have this new resource system, a unique resource system built into her, which is familiar to anyone who played World of Warcraft. I played a rogue a lot in Mordors of Draenor, so this is cool to me. But combo points, you can have a maximum of 3 combo points. Your 3 stealth abilities will give you 1 combo point each. Then you've got these 2 abilities, which will give you 1 combo point each, and then you spend them with your E ability. So I imagine for the most part you're going to be trying to build up 3 combo points, then throw out an eviscerate, and then so on and so forth. So your Q Sinister Strike is going to be a dash, doing damage in a line. If it hits a hero, you stop the dash, but the cooldown is reduced to 1 second. So a quick way to generate combo points, and she's going to be presumably very mobile. You got Blade Flurry, which is you do damage in an area around Valeera. You generate a combo point per enemy hero hit, so she's really going to be churning out the damage when she's in these bigger team fights, though I imagine she could be quite squishy, though we'll talk about her heroics and how they might protect her. And then of course you got Eviscerate, which is your combo point spender, going to do more damage the more combo points you have. I don't know if it's a flat scaling or if it's like exponential. We'll find out when we jump into the game. Then while you are in stealth with your Vanish ability, and again, you should be able to use this in combat and utilize these here. You've got your Q Ambush. You'll just do a whole bunch of damage to a target. Cheap Shot, you'll do a small amount of damage and do a 1.5 second stun to an enemy. Throwbacks to Rogue PvP. And then you've got Garrote on your E. You'll Garrote them, and you'll silence them for 2 seconds, which is a pretty big deal. So you get to choose. Presumably, let's presume for now that you get to use one of these at the start of the fight, much like the Rogue in World of Warcraft. You can choose between, okay, starting off with a big chunk of damage, starting off with very low damage but a 1.5 second stun, or starting off with a 2 second silence, which is very effective, and then a small amount of damage, and then this sort of dot over 7 seconds. So that's pretty interesting. Her heroics actually appear relatively weak, which is quite interesting, okay? So, Smoke Bomb is the first one. You make a cloud of smoke. You saw this in the development video. While you're in the smoke, Valeera is unrevealable. I don't know if this means you could just spam your Vanish abilities, or if you're just, you're stealthed, but you don't count as being vanished, so you're still using your basic abilities. That's something we'll find out once we get to play her. You pass through other units. You've 25 armor. And then you can continue to attack and use abilities without being revealed. Last 5 seconds. Using this ability does not break Vanish, so again, it's not entirely clear. I'm kind of presuming you just use your basic abilities, not the Vanish ones, but we'll see. But yeah, you throw down this cloud of smoke, you're going to take 25% reduced damage from any dots or AoE abilities, and then you won't be targetable unless they've got some sort of actually unrevealable. They can't even reveal you with stealth. You're just completely unseeable and untargetable, except for AoE attacks. They know you're in the smoke cloud, obviously, so like say a flame strike will probably line up pretty well if it's empowered. But yeah, that's kind of cool. A very powerful defensive cooldown, actually, so that's very unique and could really help you maximize that Blade Flurry, combo point generation if you do it in the middle of the enemy team. And Cloak of Shadows is the other one. These are all classic rogue abilities, which is really cool to see. Valeera is embellished in the Cloak of Shadows. Immediately removes all damage over time effects from her. For 1 second, you become unstoppable and gain 75 spell armor. That's it. I assume this is on a much shorter cooldown. But yeah, you could obviously, this could be a pretty high skill capability, to mitigate hard-hitting spells. Let's say, for example, once again, going up against a Kael'thas, he could mitigate a Flame Strike or a Pyroblast if he happens to take that against you, if you time it just perfectly. 75 spell armor, that's the max spell armor you can get, aside from Arthas, who breaks the rules. Isn't that nice? And then also, removing damage over time effects doesn't seem that strong, but obviously, maybe against Lunara or against Gul'dan, there might be some use to it. Or Nazeebo, I suppose. But for the most part, it seems to be more so for, kind of the self-cleanse. I don't know if you can use it while you are stunned. Doesn't make it clear. But certainly you can dodge stuns, incoming stuns, and dodge hard-hitting incoming abilities. So that would be pretty interesting to try out. It seems a bit weak, but I presume it will have like a short cooldown. And with a high skill cap and a high skill ceiling, you know, who knows what people could be able to do with it. So actually very excited about Valeera. I'm very excited to see her in the game, especially as like an old rogue main myself from World of Warcraft. It's pretty awesome to see that fantasy come in. I'm quite happy about that. Art, reworks, Tassadar and Rexxar. They've updated icon art, which is nice. And then some visual effect changes. Blood Elf Tyrande. Malfurion's Innervate has received additional visual effects, so that one actually probably pretty relevant, making it a bit more obvious. Rexxar stuff's been changed, Tassadar's been changed, that's fine. And then Envenomed Spines from Zakara, that's been changed too. Now we do have the shop stuff here. Demon Hunter Valeera bundle, the Lunar Festival bundle, the 2017 and the 2016 Lunar Festival bundles. The Luxurian Nights bundles are going to be gone, so grab them if you want them. Valeera's obviously there. There's the Fellsaber mount, which will be in the Demon Hunter Valeera bundle. The Nimbus Cloud will be in the 2017 Lunar Festival bundle. Remember that Lunar Rooster will be just from doing the Lunar Festival quest. Here, oh, in fact, here it is right there. Should have read that first. And there's going to be the Golden Rooster. Ooh, an additional rooster. That's kind of cool. I actually remember seeing that in the thing. I presumed it was a tint. That's going to be a second mount, which is available for gold. So that's pretty interesting. Now, the Nexus Charger and the Judgment Charger are going to be gone. I believe the Nexus Charger is the current 30,000 gold mount. So grab that now if you can, because it's going to be gone in a week's time when this patch does go live. Then we've got, obviously, Demon Hunter Valeera, Master Valeera. If you're curious about the skins, they're in the 2017 Lunar Festival bundle. Monkey King Samuro and Lunar Li Ming, they're in the development video. User interface. So more MVP screen stuff, but still you can exit out of it, so it's not going to be used that much, which is kind of unfortunate. And then they've also lowered the zoom level for observers, which is kind of interesting. I'll be curious to see exactly how that plays out. And then some show help stuff, which is not important. Let's get into the hero stuff, which is going to be a little bit insane, a little bit crazy. First up, we got Lunara. Small change here. Starward Spear W will now generate an indicator displaying her new attack range while active, just making it more intuitive. This is the one, I think it increases her attack range by 50% for like 6 seconds or something after she activates her W, but it gives her much longer attack range. It's probably the most commonly chosen one at that level as well, and the best one. It's the one that I take. Well, this will make it just a bit more clear how far your attacks can go and make it just a bit more useful, so I'm all in favor of that. Varian actually has got a pretty huge buff here to his tank build in particular. So Tank Varian is actually looking kind of scary in the next patch, I have to say. Overpower is your level 1 W talent, has added functionality. It can trigger multiple times per parry and also increases the damage of the next heroic strike by 25%. I don't know if this applies to every parry or just the first one, to every trigger or just the first one. What this does, when you activate parry, if you get hit by a basic attack, it instantly refreshes the cooldown of heroic strike, which is by default 18 seconds, and you hit really hard. So it's going to make that hit really hard be even harder. And then it also can trigger multiple times per parry, which would be hilarious if you could, I don't know, Bloodlust Varian. Alright, get Tank Varian, Bloodlust him, and then have him like taunt and parry a Tracer, and then just have him go like, pwah, pwah. That'd be so cool. What other attack speed boosts can we get? We need to work out some more attack speed boosts, because that could be hilarious. But anyway, that's in the game. These simple changes should allow Varian players to live the dream, get multiple overpowered triggers more often, particularly when combined with Lift by the Sword or Twin Blades of Fury. So I don't think this is a good combo with Twin Blades of Fury. I suppose it's okay, but it doesn't seem as amazing to me with Twin Blades, because the cooldown of Heroic Strike is pretty short with Twin Blades anyway. Though I suppose it would let you, I'm going to test that. I've got you do get short cooldowns, but you also got that very fast attack speed, so you could get it off multiple times. That's quite intriguing. But definitely Live by the Sword, it makes that talent, which is underperforming, much more appealing. That's the level 7 talent, which increases the duration of parry. Well, that makes this much more relevant and much better synergy with Overpower. But this is particularly true with the Tank Variant, I feel. You want Overpower to allow Varian to gain a lot of value when used at just the right time, that even the best cases of the old talent design didn't compare to the other options on the tier. By allowing it to increase the damage for Heroic Strike baseline, we think we'll add an additional vector, which will make it an enticing option for all 3 builds. Well, if it's got another vector, I'm sold. That's all I'm saying. I'm sold. But yeah, I think this is quite a scary addition to Tank Varian right now, because Taunt forces people to basic attack you. You could get multiple, heroic strikes off, and that's quite a lot of damage. That's quite scary in terms of that single target pick potential. This is definitely a large buff to watch out for. Supports then. Well, Lily first, Elusive Feat trait, now displays a button on her hotbar showing the cooldown, so much like they did with Raynor, making that more intuitive and clear. That's great. Shake It Off pass, same thing for Shake It Off at level 16. So I can't quite remember what these do, so sorry about that. Don't play enough Lily and don't pick these talents very much. But yeah, if you play Lily more, you'll know about it. So that's great. Buff for Lily, that's always welcome. Tassadar. Let's look at Tassadar's rework and see what we can make of it. In fact, I'm just going to quit out of this as well. We're going to try log in so I can show you all the new talents in the game. That would be the clearest thing. If we can't do it in this video, we will, of course, have a Tassadar rework video up where we'll go through the game and show you every single talent so you can get all the info on that in a very clear way. But for now, basic attacks. So the damage has been reduced from 69 to 10, but the attack speed is increased by 400%, and your basic attacks are channeled, and so the target's movement speed by 20%. Basically, you know that distortion beam talent he has? I think it's level 13 at the moment. You just shoot, like, he puts his hand out and shoots a laser. It's pretty cool. That's your new basic attack, just worked in baseline. So you just start shooting this laser at someone, you channel it on them as they move around, yada yada yada, and it will just do this constant ticking damage and slow their movement speed. So that's pretty big buff and a pretty big change to Tassadar's playstyle. Very intriguing. Oracle, your trait, which is the vision thing. Smaller radius, 16% smaller. The cooldown has been decreased substantially, 25% off the cooldown. That's a big deal. And no longer costs mana. That's also a fairly big deal. So Oracle, it's going to be smaller, but much more used more frequently, and then easier to use. Less opportunity cost, which is really, really nice. Plasma Shield, fairly large changes here. Now has a 8-second cooldown, up from 5 seconds, but an 8-second duration, up from 5. The mana cost slightly increased, but that's not really a big deal. I don't think you'll ever really notice that, but just worth pointing it out for the sake of it. Now, the shield amount has been increased from 342 to 510, but you don't get 50% strength on allied heroes anymore. As far as I can tell, doing like maths off the top of my head, this is basically the 50% strength just worked in baseline to the shields. So this will apply to what basically makes the shield better on Tassadar himself, makes it better on minions, on structures, what have you, stuff like that. And then there's also the added functionality. The target grants 20% lifesteal on basic attacks while the shield is on them. So working in that, what was it called? I can't remember what it was called, but it was the level 4 talent. That's what's worked in baseline now. So overall, much longer cooldown. That's a substantial, that's over a 50% increase. That's a 60%, I can do maths. That's a 60% increase on the cooldown. 60% increase on duration. That's not a huge deal though, but that's a big cooldown increase. Especially for like where there's heavy single target focus and you're trying to shield someone, kind of desperately keeping them alive, you're going to be much less effective at that now. But there you go. Nonetheless, it's something. It's there. You're going to be better at shielding yourself. And then, of course, I suppose you're going to have to think about it a bit more, who you're going to be shielding, because you're potentially giving someone 8 seconds of 20% lifesteal. You need to think about that a bit more because of that longer cooldown and the opportunity cost. Sonic Storm, the damage has been decreased about 20% just off the bat, but it will now do 10% increasing damage for each consecutive instance of damage. I'm not sure. Does it do damage per second or what? We'll find out when we test this out, of course. But I presume that overall, if it's more focused on they must stand in the Sonic Storm for longer. If they stand in it for more than a second or two, you're probably doing more damage than you would have before. If they get out of it instantly, if you aim it badly or they dodge out, it's going to do a little bit less. Not super relevant, but I imagine overall this will, practically speaking, be a buff, certainly to your wave clear and things like that. Dimensional Shift, the cooldown substantially increased from 20 to 30 seconds. The duration is up to 2 seconds though, and you gain 25 move speed for the duration. And you can also cancel out of it early by reactivating the hotkey. So that's nice. A little bit more control. Yeah, it's not quite up yet. We'll try again at 7 p.m. and we'll see how that goes. Kind of British time, I suppose, is what we are. But yeah, I mean, it's a much longer cooldown, so you're going to have to pay more attention to that. Not sure if Prescience is still in the game. We'll find that out. I doubt it. And it's worked into Archon a bit here. We'll see that in a second. But yeah, I mean, you get some move speed baked in. It lasts longer, but you can cancel out, which is nice. But yeah, you're going to be more vulnerable to being killed, but you got more control, and it's better aside from the longer cooldown, which is interesting. We got Archon. The attack damage increased from 111 excuse me, to 175, which is a big damage increase. I'm not sure how this interacts with your standard basic attacks. Obviously, it's not going to give you like 175 bonus damage, you know, with 400% attack speed. That's not going to be the case, presumably. I presume it just kind of is the Archon attacks as they are now. Do they still apply the 20% slow? I'm not sure. Or is it just they don't slow anymore? They do splash damage? That's something for us to check. No, never mind. Here we go. I didn't read it quick enough properly. Basic attacks are going to slow enemies by 40% for 1 second. Remove functionality. I think they're still going to do like a splash. I don't know if the splash applies the full slow to everyone, but still, it's going to last 10 seconds. You're hitting harder than you did before. You're doing like boom, boom, these big slows onto at least one target, like very big slows. It will also refresh the cooldown of Dimensional Shift on activation. So you could potentially, you know, Dimensional Shift, kind of sneak into the enemy team, Archon, start blasting them, and then be ready to Dimensional Shift out again. That's kind of crazy, but there. You don't get a generic shield on activation, but a plasma shield instead. So obviously remember now that the plasma shield is more powerful on Tassadar by default, or like it's equally powerful as it is on everything else. And then presumably there'll be talents that are going to work into this as well, which is quite nice. And you get that life leech as well, which is cool, for free on you, which is nice. 10-second duration, so it's going to be quite a scary thing. This seems like a very, very large buff to Archon, so exciting to see that happen. Force Wall, the range has been increased, which is lovely, and then passively increases the slow amount of Tassadar's basic attacks from 20% to 30%. So either way, you're doing a substantial amount of slows with your basic attacks. It's going to be a big part of Tassadar's new kit, and how that's going to counter particular heroes. I foresee him being very powerful. Like that's quite a burden on heroes like Thrall or Ragnaros, who are very popular right now. Being slowed down is a severe impediment to them being able to actually do damage and get on top of people. So that's a big deal. Talents have been completely reworked. I would love to get into the game to be able to show you that, because it's going to be more clear that way. But we can just zip down here. You can see there's going to be 3 talents on each tier. 4 obviously on level 10. Let's take a quick look and see what we can make of this. At least get a quick overview. So you're going to have Psion Fusion, which is a W quest. You're going to restore 1 mana for every non-structure enemy damaged by Sonic Storm. Seems pretty good. After restoring 500 mana, increase the area of Psi Storm. After restoring 1000 mana, that's pretty cool. A double tier reward thing. Increase the damage of your Psi Storm by 20%. So that's pretty cool. Talents, Templar's Will. Quest, attacking enemy heroes restores 4 mana per second. After slowing heroes for 30 seconds, improves your basic attack range. Pretty big deal. After slowing them for 60 seconds, increase it by additional 20%. That's very strong as well. So this level 1 seems like a big deal. These seems like very powerful ones. Regen Globes grant additional 50% mana. This is Kadarin Resonance. After collecting 20 Regen Globes, I like this double tier thing they've got going. This is a cool theme for a talent tier. I like it a lot. After collecting 20 Regen Globes, 50% of your Plasma Shield values remains after expiration. Wow, okay. After 40, your Plasma Shields no longer have a duration. So they just last forever. Well, that's nice. So they don't... Wow. These are very, very powerful level 1 talents, needless to say. So your level 1 choice on Tassadar is actually going to be a very defining thing about him going forward. Looks like these are all gone or moved. Okay, this is unclear. We'll come back to this, but this is anyway level 7. Anyway, we've got 3 talents here. I believe these are these 3. Kala's something in every single case, all for your Q. So you can make your shield, increase the life steal of Plasma Shield by additional 20%. You're giving 40% life steal with your Q now. That's a big deal. Upon expiration or breaking of Plasma Shield, the target gets 25 armor for 3 seconds. That's a pretty big deal. And Kala's Celerity, Plasma Shield grants 25% move speed for 5 seconds. Again, wow. These are also very powerful talents. Yeah, you're going to be very much defined by your talent build. These are extremely strong, especially for early game talents. At level 7, so we got Mental Acuity, which is now level 7. It's a quest. Each takedown lowers the cooldown of Oracle by 3 seconds to a max of 15 seconds. Alright, remember it's got a 30-second cooldown now, so that's half the cooldown off of Oracle with takedowns. Should be not actually that difficult to complete. Then upon reaching 15 seconds of cooldown reduction, increases the sight range of Oracle by 50%. That's a pretty big deal. Other options at 7, so these are all gone. This is moved. Sonic Projection on Q and W increases the range of your Plasma Shield and Slice Storm abilities by 40%. Also seems okay. I'm not... I don't know. I don't think they've decreased the range of these, and I feel the range is fine. I feel like the vision thing seems better. What's the other one that's on level 7? What's it called? So Sonic Projection, Resonation, Mental Acuity. What's Resonation? Resonation. Sonic Projection, Mental Acuity, Resonation. Here we go. Move to level 7. Resonation. Distortion beams, slow amounts increase to 40% while attacking an enemy affected by Sonic Storm. Okay, interesting. I feel like the Vision one is probably overall, certainly at higher levels of play, going to be the best one. Certainly at pro play, that seems to me to be the best one. We'll see how things go, though. Level 10, your Heroics. We've already covered those. Level 13, Nullification. Active. Activate to reduce target hero's damage by 75% for 3 seconds. Woohoo, boy. Oh, boy. I love it. I just have visions of, like, dimensional shifting into the enemy team, pop Archon, start blasting someone, and then nullify them, reduce their damage. That's pretty cool. It's like Shrink Ray, but focus on damage as opposed to attack speed, move speed. So much more effective against like mages and stuff, like very effective against mages and things like that. That's quite interesting. Adun's Wisdom trait. While Oracle is active, your basic abilities cool down 50% faster. Alrighty. I'm definitely feeling this level 7 talent then. That opens up a nice combo with level 13. What's the other level 13 then? These talents are so powerful. Deep Shift. Dimensional Shift. That was earlier, wasn't it? Deep Shift. Move to talent tier 5. Dimensional Shift's movement speed and duration are increased by 50%. Alright. I'm kind of more interested in these two. I like it. I like it a lot. Level 16 then. New talent. Are these... So, Second Strike still here? Phase Disruption, Psionic Echo, Focused Beam. Alright, so Phase Disruption, Focused Beam. Second Strike, renamed Psionic Echo. Perfect. That's a better name. The window to cast Second Sonic Storm has been reduced from 3 to 1.5 seconds. Okay, so basically you can cast a Second Sonic Storm, and remember, they're going to be better now, especially if you work in other talents, within 1.5 seconds. Alright, cool. Phase Disruption on your W. Enemies affected by Sonic Storm have their physical armor reduced by 25. That seems good. Focused Beam. While Oracle is active, your basic attacks deal an additional 1% of an enemy hero's maximum health. While Oracle is active. I feel like this is a little bit imbalanced then with this level 7 thing, and having Mental Acuity then just seems so good, because without Mental Acuity, it's removing a lot of the usefulness of a couple of these talents. And I'm concerned then a little bit about level 7. I'm like overwhelmed by the power of level 1 and 4. At level 7, I'm kind of feeling like Mental Acuity is initially, anyway, standing out to me. I could be missing stuff, of course, but it stands out to me as being much more powerful. Prescience is removed, by the way. So that seems like a very powerful combo, opening up with Adun's Wisdom and with Focus Beam. So that's my initial thoughts on that. Twilight Archon. New functionality. Basic attacks while in Archon refresh the duration of Archon. Oh boy, so you could like you're basically going to be permanently Archon during the team fight. That's a 10-second duration that you're constantly refreshing, so you're just permanent Archon. That's insane. Force Barrier. New functionality. Decreases the cooldown of your force wall by 50%, increases the range by 100%. Alright, that's pretty strong too. This one seems nuts though. A couple of new talents as well. Replacing the old ones. Shield Battery active. Activate to grant all nearby allies a base version of Plasma Shield. That's still pretty damn good. Or Prismatic Link. Passive. Basic attacks can now bounce to 2 nearby enemy targets for 50% damage. Presumably like the full slow and everything like that. So that's pretty good too. That's very interesting talents here. Let's just check through these developer comments, and then we'll look at Rexxar. And I think that's all the changes then for this particular patch. But as you can see, it's a pretty crazy one. We absolutely love releasing reworks, and this one was a long time coming. As Tassadar has had a bit of an identity crisis from the moment he stepped foot into the Nexus. We knew that the design direction and changes were going to need to be a bit more expansive in scope compared to most of our other reworks. We did our best to keep him as true to his High Templar heritage as possible. I am not opposed to this in any way, shape, or form. I think that's a fantastic idea. Our goals were to embrace him as a true utility-based support mage. The new Distortion Beam basic attack should allow you to help peel for your allies, as well as secure kills that would be otherwise unobtainable. Plasma Shields has gained baseline utility that will continue to empower basic attackers, while also offering more diverse talents in order to better react to enemy and ally compositions. Archon has been surgically buffed and given a passive reset for Dimensional Shift, which should be great news for our old school fans, as we fully expect to see a resurgence of backline infiltration play. I love it. Overall, we hope the changes reinvigorate our steadfast Tassadar players, while integrating many new ones into the Kala on Taro Tassadar. Yeah, he seems like he could be very, very strong. Definitely does not seem in any way, shape, or form now like a solo support hero, but a very powerful second support hero, and very interesting to see how this is going to play out. I'm very, very excited about this. Let's take a look at Rexxar then. So, I was not expecting to see a Rexxar rework, but let's see what they've done. So, Misha is going to move faster when she's issued an order to attack targets, or when she is by Rexxar's side. So, improving the speed of Rexxar, making her go in to attack faster or move faster beside Rexxar himself. So, Misha will be faster. Cool. This is a big change. The controls for controlling Misha are have been simplified, as should have that previous sentence probably should have been simplified too. But anyway, so yeah, it's just gone. You've got this new thing now. Is your trait button. What it does now is just called Misha Focus. Is your trait. You can self-cast Misha Focus. You'll call Misha back to Rexxar. When she hits Rexxar, she's neutral. Aside from that, you can cast Misha Focus, your trait, your D key. You can now place her at a particular point to wait there, or you can set her on a particular target. And that's it. You can, you cast it to move her to a point or to attack a target, self-cast it to move her back to you, and then once she reaches you, she'll be neutral state and she'll just automatically attack the target you are attacking. So hopefully simplifying the Misha thing it's going to be weird. I'm not sure. I'll tell you more when I actually get to play it in-game, but worth noting, that's a fairly large change to the functionality there. It's probably simplifying it, maybe making it easier for new players at least. I'm not sure exactly what to make of it. We'll see in-game. Then talents being changed. Interesting. We got 4 talents here at level 4. Alright, cool. Let's take a quick little look here. Alright, so level 1. This is moved to level 4, moved to level 4. Flare active. Now 30-second cooldown. Reveal duration increased from 5 seconds to 20 seconds. Okay, that's a pretty big deal. So it's like a 20-second reveal on a 30-second cooldown timer. That's a huge buff. That is so good. That seems insanely good. That's very interesting. Bird of Prey, your Q, will now do... only does bonus damage to enemy minions, that's fine, but you can make your Q do 150% bonus damage to enemy minions. That's also extremely powerful. Then Easy Prey is moved to level 1. You can't combo with these anymore. Easy Prey makes Misha take, I think, half damage from minions and mercenaries, and do something like double damage to minions and mercenaries. So now on level 1, are they the choices? Okay, yeah, they are the choices. So you can make Misha much tankier against minions and mercs, and make Misha do more damage to them. You can have your Q give you a ton of wave clear, or you can have this like huge vision reveal, which could be very powerful. So that's a very interesting level 1. Hungry Bears, the same. That means you heal stuff. Hunter Gatherer, new functionality perhaps. Hunter Gatherer. Regen Globes required to complete the quest are now only 20. That's fair. It's level 4. You get 1.25 per Regen Globe, so it's still going to be roughly about as powerful. Am I right? I'm not sure. Someone else can do the maths. When you complete the quest, Rexxar and Misha gain 10 armor. Alright, I like it. That's interesting. And Grizzled Bear. Grizzled Fortitude now. Block charge gain rate increased from 5 to 7 seconds. Okay. So, this is Grizzled Fortitude. Rexxar and Misha both get a stack of block every 7 seconds. So, overall, a buff. Overall a buff, because it also protects Rexxar, but it's on level 4 now. So that's a pretty interesting level 4. Animal Husbandry is there as well. Animal Husbandry. New talent. Rexxar and Misha gain 2 maximum health every second Rexxar remains alive. These bonuses are lost on Rexxar's death. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Alright, let's do some maths here. 60x. Say 20 minutes. That is, I'm really bad at maths. That's 1,200. That's not that much bonus health. Actually, that's double. That's 2,400 bonus health in a 20-minute game if you don't die. Actually, that's not really true. Let's say that's 2,000 bonus health if you don't die from the time you get this talent in like an average length game. That's quite a lot of max health. That's a very interesting talent. That's a very interesting talent. All right. I like this rework. This is already controversial in my opinion. All right, they've all been moved. What's at level 7 then? Aspect of the Beast, crippling talents, taking flight. Aspect of the Beast. Where the fuck is fucking Aspect of the Beast? What the fuck? I'm really confused. Are they just the same as they were before? Okay, they're the same as they were before. So if I'm right, Aspect of the Beast is Misha's basic attacks. Reduce the cooldown of Misha charge by 1.5 seconds. So just more stuns in the team fight. That's fine. Crippling Talons, I believe, increases the slow on your Q, which to me doesn't seem as good as Aspect of the Beast. Taking Flight, that's a new one. Alright, Taking Flight. Where, now I can't even... There's one talent I need to find and I can't find it. Here it is. Added functionality. I don't know what the base functionality was. I apologize. If Spirit Swoop hits an enemy hero, the cooldown is also reduced by 2 seconds. Does it improve the range? It might improve the range, and then we'll reduce the cooldown if it hits a hero. Nah. Alright, interesting. Level 7 seems rather boring compared to the other 2 talent tiers. 10 is the same. 13, Dire Beast. New talent, Dire Beast. Rexxar and Misha's basic attacks increase the damage of next Misha charge by 40%, stacking up to 400% bonus. Ooh, well that's an interesting combination. That's interesting. What else is at level 13? Wildfire Bear. Alright, still the same. Aspect of the Hawk. Added functionality. Again, I don't know what the basic one did. He had such bad talent diversity before. I don't know the base talents. Can we get in the game? That would help. Otherwise, I'll open up a talent calculator to make this clear. Let's do a talent calculator as well. On the fly, Nubkeks reporting. I'm so professional. Alright, what the fuck is all this shit? Crippling Talons. Taking Flight increases its range. Yes! The mana cost is refunded. Yes! And now reduces the cooldown by 2 seconds. I'm so good at this. 150% damage to minions mercs. Cool. This is... yeah, Hungry Bear. Cool. 1.5 seconds. Grand. Oh, so good at this game, man. So good at this game. What does Aspect of the Hawk do? When Spirit Swoop hits an enemy hero, you gain 100% attack speed for 3 seconds. And this now is level 13. 100% attack speed. Basic attacks increase the duration of the attack speed buff by... okay. That doesn't seem amazing. Interesting. Okay, so basically, Aspect of the Hawk is going to make Rexxar's basic attacks much faster, and Misha's attacks will increase the duration. Cool, bit of synergy there. Dire Beast, your basic attacks, just the default ones, improve the damage of your W, or just passive Wildfire Bear damage. Pretty interesting, pretty interesting. Of course, you know, Wildfire Bear is classically... part of the strength was that you could combine it with Easy Prey, which would improve its damage to like minions and mercs and stuff, which is pretty useful. And monsters as well, I think. I'm not sure about that one, but maybe just minions and mercs, but still pretty damn useful. Thrill of the Hunt, Primal Intimidation, Feign Death. These are level 16 is all the same. Critical Care is gone though. So those of you who were a fan of increasing the healing of men pet by 50% while Misha was under 50% health, I'm sorry, you can't do that anymore. That sucks, and level 20 is all the same as well. Our goals for Misha Rexxar. What? For Misha Rexxar? They're like, even Blizzard is like, it's Misha Rexxar, guys. Yeah, we know it's not just, yeah, okay. That's hilarious. We're Rexxar from now on needs to be called Misha Rexxar at all times. We're twofold. Twofold is like the hero is twofold. To streamline his control scheme as much as we could and to give his talents some love. Yeah, he had pretty bad talent diversity. All of Misha's controls should now be centralized on the D button. Giant cocks and more D buttons in this particular build. This is great, which should make it easier overall to play the hero. While this does result in a tiny loss of control, yep, cool. You can't keep her at your side in a passive state. You have to keep alt spamming the D key by default, giving yourself the D multiple times. We felt that overall this functionality was not that huge of a loss for Rexxar and was worth the gain of making his controls centered around one button instead of 2. That's like a 50% less buttons to press for Misha control. Sort of, kind of, maybe. We also made Misha's movement speeds during her various states more consistent so that she feels better when being commanded by Rexxar. We've added some... nope. We've added some talents that should help better sell the fantasy of Rexxar and Misha working together to take down their prey. I've had a blast playing with the new improved Rexxar, and I hope that you enjoyed it as much as we have. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's pretty interesting. It's mostly on talent stuff. Looks like there's some pretty interesting things. I'll be curious to try out this control and let you guys know what I think. Then we have bug fixes. I don't know if there's anything particularly big here. Try mode, grassy terrain will no longer appear inside of the Allied Storm portal. There's the stuff. I didn't take a look through it. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any game-breaking bugs right now. If there is, I'm sure you can let me know in the comments down below and whether they have been fixed or not. Thank you very much. Sound. When ridden by a hero in stealth, mechanical mounts will no longer play sound effects that are audible to nearby enemy heroes. Awesome. Okay. Insight will now sound better. More dings. Great. And distortion beam. Oh, it's a quest completion sound effect. That's different. Okay, just as many dings, but one final, very satisfying ding. Distortion beam will now correctly play sound effects when attacking enemy walls, gates, and towers. Cool, great. All right, nice. There you go, guys. Bit of a longer video here today, but I feel like this is a pretty big deal of a patch. I'm very excited about these reworks. I'm shocked that there's a Rexxar rework. But when I went through it there, actually, it kind of made a bit of sense because I did realize when I was going through it how bad this talent tree was before, and I'm excited to see this new one in action. And surprised as well that they improved the change to Misha, but it makes sense to me. I'm excited about Valeera. I think Valeera looks cool. Excited to ride a giant cock to battle. And yeah, the Tassadar rework sounds incredibly insane. So do check back on the channel. Like I said, I'll be hopping on. Let's do one more check of the PTR as we sign off. Always fearfully checking that yes, my mic was recording. Yes, it was. Okay, breathe a sigh of relief. I did it once. I recorded an hour-long video, viewer replay thing, and then I went, that was a great video. I did a great job. I tabbed over to press stop recording and realized mic volume was on 0. That was a depressing day. It wasn't good. But as soon as this PTR is up, I will, of course, jump in. Probably be in order of newness and exciting. Do Valeera first, because we have to. Oh, it's here. You know what? Before we leave, guys, we'll take a very, very, very quick look at these heroes, just to show you what they look like. Receive a reward. Why, thank you. Oh, we got the cock already. Get hyped, everyone. All right. Varian, Valeera. All right, well, this is Valeera. Okay, she's a bit shaded out. You'll see her in the build. Because I want to take a look at the shop bundles and stuff like that. That one's very cool. Bloodfang, awesome. And then the Demon Hunter skin looks unbelievably good. This is like the WoW Legion Demon Hunters. Super, super hyped for that. T for Tassadar. Alright, so these are his talents in case you want to see them here. Kind of condensed. Psi Infusion, Templar's Will, Kadarin Resonance, Kala's Celerity, Kala's Embrace, Kala's Light, Sonic Projection, Resonation, Mental Acuity, the new Archon, Force Wall, Deep Shift, Adun's Wisdom, Nullification, Phase Disruption, Sonic Echo, Focused Beam, then Twilight Archon, Force Barrier, Prismatic Link, and Shield Battery. If we hop, basic abilities, Plasma Shield, Sonic Storm, Dimensional Shift, Oracle, Archon, and Force Wall. Yada 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 da da da. Or for Rexxar. Basic abilities, Spirit Swoops, the same. They're the same. That's the same. Misha attacks your enemies. Huh, how nice. Oh, the trace is called Misha. Cool. Unleash the Boar's Best They're the same. Okay, Easy Prey, Bird of Prey. Oh, this is 50 armor. Okay, Bird of Prey, Flare. Yeah, just 20 seconds of villain air and 30-second cooldown. I'm just seeing that on like Infernal Shrines or something. Seems good. Hungry Bear, Hunter Gatherer, Grizzled Fortitude, Animal Husbandry. Aspect of the Beast, Crippling Talons, Taking Flight. Level 10, Bestial Wrath, and Unleash the Boars. Level 13, Wildfire Bear, Aspect of the Hawk, and Dire Beast. Level 16, Thrill of the Hunt. I don't think did I spot this one? Was this always there? I never knew this was there. Your basic attacks increase both you and Misha's movement speed of 25% for 2 seconds. What? I didn't even know this was there. I'm dumb, man. Primal Intimidation. Feign Death. 20, Spirit Bond. Kill Command. Frenzy of Kalimdor, Hardened Skin. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I was gonna say they can make them a bit more specific, but they're already specific to Rexxar and Misha. They're already a bit different, so that's just fine. And there you go, guys. We'll do. Gonna be back. I'm gonna go record some Valeera stuff. Stay tuned. Valeera, Tassadar, Rexxar. Sounds good? Sounds good. I'll get them up as quickly as I possibly can. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you're hyped. I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye.